But how much I fucking hate being a Chicago Bears fan right now.
Why do you hate being a Bears fan?
They signed Andy Dalton, let Trubisky leave, and they cut Kyle Fuller, a top 5 corner in the NFL. Just let him go. Didn't fucking trade him or anything. The guy started his rookie year as a Bear. Like, he did okay, but, like, not amazing. And then his second year, he was, like, second corner in the league, Pro Bowl. Like, the guys just continued to perform at that level, and they just let him go. Didn't even try to trade him or anything. And they told Akeem Hicks yesterday that he can start looking for a trade. And it's like, all right, I guess I'm not a Bears fan anymore. I'm sorry, Mac.
Where are you going to go?
I don't.
Well, you were once a Viking fan.
There you
so
go.
I'd like to officially offer you the option to join the team.
The Vikings fandom.
We're all
It's very tricky because it was because of Favre. Now, follow me out here. Hear me out. It's because watching Favre succeed away from the Packers upset the Packers, and I am all about watching the Packers.
My thing was using a Packers player to destroy Packers. And a Packers player who was loved by Packer fans. That was like their trump card. Play a Tom Brady or play fucking Brett Favre.
I know, so I'm Vikings and all that good stuff too, but like when Brett Favre went to the Vikings, I was kind of like, man, like he's been like an arch enemy for
and you finally got him.
And just like, I know.
Gotta go out back and dig up that jersey that I spit, pissed, and burned.
We'll accept you back.
Oh, no, I'm thinking Tampa Bay might be a little crowded on their bandwagon.
You're not going to jump on?
Nah.
Come on, man.
I'm not going with the Raiders. They signed.
You can
They're
jump.
Vegas now, aren't they?
Jump to the number 1 NFC North team coming now.
The Raiders in New Vegas or Las Vegas, right?
Raiders are Vegas.
Yeah, Raiders are Vegas.
But they just signed Kyle something, the running back from Arizona. He was like number 2 all yards last year. Anyway, the point is they went and got themselves another running back.
So I like the Vikings. Like, that was always my team just because I remember back in the day, like Randy Moss, Dante Culpepper were awesome and all that stuff. But I totally fell out of the football. Totally. And I haven't watched it for a long time anyway. So I'd say I'm a Vikings fan, but just because like I've always been. But I don't watch them religiously. No. I don't know. I just
wouldn't say I pay to watch anything.
Oh, it's a game.
Yeah.
Going to a football game was a lot of fun, man.
I need to go to one. I've never been to a professional football
I like to go. It was a little warmer.
Yeah, didn't you go when it was like -10?
No, I'm not Scotty. It was just like right on that edge of it's too fucking cold to be out here for this long. So I'd say, smidge above freezing, so like maybe 35, 40. But it was just like out there, it was just wind, and we got there 6 a.m. on a Thursday when the game wasn't until 7:30 p.m.
Yeah.
And then we just
Doing it all day.
like they didn't even open the parking lot yet, so like we were lined up. We were the first people in line to be in line. The parking lot.
Just walking up, so.
And they just got out, and everyone's got like all their they got all their cold weather gear on. They got their Raiders gear on top of it, and this year,
You boys ready?
like, what did I sign up for? So I just went with it, and then a bunch of Kansas City fans got there, and they were the same thing, but there was like 2 of those dudes that were just wearing the coverall bibs they had them red and yellow. I think that's their colors. But that was it. That was all they were wearing was the bibs. Like, there was no shirt underneath.
Yeah.
And it was like, yeah, okay. That guy's gonna lose his nipples by the end of the day. But yeah, it was just the smidge of too cold.
And then you're getting hammered, so you're getting colder.
I was trying to get hammered, and it wasn't working.
Yeah, your body was trying to survive.
I think what happened was all the other liquid froze, so the alcohol just like rode on top out my bladder.
So, yeah.
I don't know if that, but I'm not going to check, so
I don't know the
take your life and get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, maybe we were just having fun tailgating and you just totally forgot about it for a minute.
Yeah.
Well, they also, because they had set up tents, because a bunch of them brought like their own. They were professionals.
Oh, yeah.
They had plates and heaters like for the food and stuff, and there was just one heater in the middle of the tent. And I was like, I can't get any closer to this thing at this point, but I a really good time. It was really fun. Then we got to go into the game. And by then, I was drunk as fuck because everything hit me at once. And it doesn't look like it on TV, but those steps are steep. Like, it's fucking rock bottom SpongeBob 90-degree angle shit going.
Dude.
And we were all at the top, and I was like, this is really high. That's a lot. I'll die before I hit the ground. That's cool.
Fuck
But
that.
the game was great. Everybody was super cool. Don't be a Denver fan in Kansas City because they'll whoop your ass as you try to leave. Saw a lot of that.
Who won?
Chiefs. I saw Chiefs
And they were
fans-
still beating up
I
people?
saw Chiefs fans beating up other Chiefs fans. Like, they pulled them off of their fucking bus and started beating his ass. Like, aren't you guys on the same team? Colton, shut the fuck up. I thought he was going to get them turned on us. Like, I ain't fighting them. I'm going to just let it go. It's like, I'm not on any team here, guys. Just leave me the fuck alone. Like, I was that level of drunk where it's like, I will go to sleep. Like, as your fist is coming, I will fall asleep.
Out cold.
Like, oh, look, you knocked him out without hitting him. That's exactly what happened.
No follow-up strikes, please.
Grapple is super comfy at this point. And, like, we were leaving, and the thought was occurring to me, it's like, no one in this truck should be driving right now. But there was, like... Everyone else was an established adult.
Yeah, they were one of those real adults.
And
Those mythical creatures.
Yeah, and so, I trusted Tom and Tom's buddy, like, to know when they're too drunk to drive. And I noticed that we started hitting that warning track a few too many times. And that's when I saw Tom, like, do the shoulder tap, and they pulled over, and Tom started driving. I was like, now we're good. But Tom was doing the same shit.
Between the both of us, we got two eyes.
You swerve left, and I swerve right.
Fuck that.
So we got back, and, like, it was late. Like, we were been drinking since yesterday, and I didn't have time to ask for, like, a fucking pillow or anything. Like, I used my shoe as a pillow, and I used my second pair of pants as a blanket, and my coat was the other blanket. I slept like a baby. Wake up in the morning, everything hurt though.
So I miss tailgating. That reminds me of, like, Laserfest. I used to love Laserfest. Morning tailgating.
I only
so
went to
fun.
one Laserfest.
Oh man, I went so many. I think the very first one was Kid Rock and Run DMC. I went to.
The one I went to was Alice Cooper and Rob Zombie.
Yeah, I went to that one too. That was dope and everything. But yeah, like in the morning though, just getting fucking shit faced drunk at like 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning. They pick you up. We
You
had.
can do that without a concert.
Yeah, but like
It's more fun when you go into a field.
We had a road trip.
Turn on a stereo really loud.
We had a road trip from down south, so we just like started down there and went up. We met everybody just tailgating and stuff. But yeah, I remember the one year like we were just out drinking. There was people playing bags, and like people were cooking and shit and everything too. And it's just I just kept drinking stuff for the concert. And then I remember like I just kind of turned around and black, like it just kind of like went black for a minute. And then like it was just like a flash, and I came to and was like, I'm in the concert. It kind of like, and I just like it didn't start or anything, but I was in the gate and I was like, oh my god. And I was like, I need some water. I need to like chill out. I was like, oh yeah, those were ridiculous. It's all day drunk fest.
Nah, nope.
Yeah.
What'd you find, man?
Just my child bounding around with my parents' dogs.
I seen your parents hired a poop picker-upper.
This is my first time hearing it.
Oh yeah, let me tell you what I saw. I forgot.
Poop picker?
Yeah, they hired a.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say like
Kim and Steve reach out to me. Let me know if I'm wrong here. But the impression I got.
But Jesus.
The impression I got from the post was that they hired, I guess, a poop service that comes and picks up dog poop in your yard, which that's $1 million job right there because nobody wants to pick up dog shit. You just offer somebody picking it up and boom.
how much they charge.
I don't know. I didn't ask.
We got like into this.
I don't know if the guy setting the prices is also the guy picking up the poop.
Let's say like out here at my apartment or something, I take a dog out and shit and stuff. Like that'd be just hilarious. Just let him shit and like turn around and somebody like, "Are you gonna pick it up?" Like, nah, somebody gonna come get that. Like I got that already taken care of. Like just walk away.
Oh,
What the?
Just like that, Tim became the celebrity of the apartment compound. Everybody thanked him for
No, just don't even tell anybody else. They're still picking up their own poop. Like, wait, you do this for everybody? Like, yeah, but I just didn't tell anybody.
We
Just watch them all.
yeah, we
pick
can
up.
tell tell which poop is his dog's and which one's yours.
Yeah, we're gonna leave the other ones.
Yeah, leave everything else. It's fine.
Well, hopefully there would just be like mine out there, because normally they do pick up a lot of their own, but like out here there is quite a bit that they just pass over. Now snow, they're like, don't get me wrong, like if they went out there and like the snow melts, that's there, because I've lost a couple in snow.
Yeah.
I was out there. I was like, yeah, that's gone. I was like, no.
Yeah, that's just.
It's over there. Yeah.
Is that where your skinny money's going to? Is hiring a poop picking up service?
Nah.
Maybe they've got a 20% discount or something for sponsoring this show. Who's the poop picker upper?
Just do a local service.
I don't know why my parents. Well, I mean, they ran out of kids.
I guess, yeah, that's a good.
Yeah, I mean, pass it on to those guys.
I'd hate to have to pick up doing a job that somebody else has done for 15 years.
Mm-hmm. Especially when the dogs are 120 pounds each.
Yeah, those things are big animals.
Kibbles and shit, son.
Yes, it's a dinner plate full.
Every time.
That's
And then it was all winter. Just imagine wading into a backyard of poo. You know, every time you can't see just green.
Shit.
It's just.
I'm just imagining that scene from Matilda where he's being forced to eat the chocolate cake, but it's poop now, and it's really bothering me.
Ralphie?
Yeah.
Yes. Sorry.
Ralphie.
Get back to us. Let us know the name of that poop service. We're curious.
We're not. He is.
No, we're all in this together. Hi, guys. Welcome back. I thought that was a good open. Yeah.
Oh, we're not going that whole time.
Oh, yeah, we were. I'm totally putting that up because that was pretty good. Yeah.
I don't know. Do I just come over here and sit here?
So, hold on. Paco, have you ever heard of the Iceman Killer?
Oh, yeah. Richard Kuklinski.
I know about the ice truck killer.
Who's the ice truck killer?
Well, it was Dexter's brother.
Oh, no,
Oh, yeah.
no. This is real life.
This is also real life. Dexter's real.
Shut up. It's
It's
fiction.
real to me.
How?
When Rita died, I was very sad.
Can you visit any of these people?
In real life, no.
So it's not real to you.
It is real, but the no contact order said I can't go near them.
Stipulations against this.
See, at first I saw her in Boondock Saints 2, and that's when it started. You've seen Boondock Saints 2.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know the special agent, like, as the story progresses, she gets hotter. And
Yeah, it's really weird.
She's Dexter's wife
Yeah.
in Dexter. And I saw her, and I was like, and I got super excited because I recognized her, and then Abby didn't get excited, and that upset me.
Yeah?
But yeah, so she's in it.
I don't think Kathy's ever seen the Boondock Saints.
Abby hasn't, and she won't.
Yeah, that's I
She
don't
likes the
think
music
Kathy
from
will.
it.
It's a great movie.
It is very good.
The second one's even great with Romeo. Romeo always reminded me of James. Just a little.
Yeah, do these make me look good?
Yeah, I could totally just see James doing that.
Looked like you might have seen a few of them.
Yes. Might see one up close.
We need to get James on to defend himself one day.
I want to get your brother. I want to see your brother.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see him before he leaves the States.
I was like, I drove by your grandma's house, and is he over there?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because I drove over, I looked out, and I thought he was over there. I was like, go in! And like, he was just walking, I was driving like 55.
There's
But-
in the 25.
Yeah.
They were kids.
is that 25? Like, I just blow through it. I just sit over there. That's like a country road.
No speed limit sign you can see means go 45.
Yeah, well, he said 55.
I'm
not a highway.
Okay, well, here, first of all, I'm guessing because I don't even have a speedometer in my car. So, like, I'm just saying,
It
like,
felt like
yeah.
I might have been speeding.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
You know, I was just going by eye.
Like, I've really learned to, like, know that car, like, speed-wise and, like, pitch and everything.
How? How? If you didn't have a speed to go to judge it by?
Okay,
Other
because
cars on the road.
No, and that, but
could
also
be
just, like,
speeding.
seeing shit drive past you and everything, you know how fast you're going and stuff.
No, you
That's
don't.
why
That's
they
why I
have
have a
sensors.
speedometer that tells me.
Yeah, that's why we-
I can guess, but I don't
Yeah, like,
fucking
I'm not
know.
saying I can be accurate, like, to the deal, but I'm gonna say, like, I can get it within, like, 5 to 10, like, within there. Oh, yeah. Like, cause, like, just, like, driving, like, around the streets, you know, they got all the 25 or lower, so, like, that's, like a good judge right there. That's your speedometer. You look like, yeah, that's about right. Like, I don't know. You get
I have
used to that.
observed enough information to
But-
tell when I'm going 25 forever.
But when there's a cop on my ass, I do have a speedometer on my phone. Like I can just like that. Like I turned out, and that thing is accurate shit with
I've seen him
GPS.
do
Yeah, so it's like that thing's really accurate. But I I think it's just easy.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to eyeball my speed because after a time or two where I might have had a few drinks before driving, I constantly have to check the fucking speedometer.
Well, that's why I don't drink and drive anymore.
So I know this is not a skill I have, apparently.
I just refuse to do that anymore. Like, I don't know. People ask me to go out, like, you driving? Because I'm just not going out. Like, I'm not.
Yeah, I couldn't stop drinking and driving, so I just stopped going out. And I think it's better for everybody.
Yeah,
Is it working better for you?
Helps out quite a bit.
Never once got to know them.
Oh, they are costly as fuck, and they suck.
Never even had the risk of one.
Good for you, though.
I've never had a cop behind my car where I went, I might be going to jail.
Oh, like, there's been times, like, I am going to jail. There
is one way this ends.
Yeah, this is one.
What was the best one?
What do you mean? Like,
The best one where you knew you were going.
oh, like, I don't know, like, there's one time we ran and shit like that. I mean, there's stuff.
That's how he knew, because he didn't know until they ran.
Yeah.
He had a mixture.
Or like when they fly up with the lights on, you're just kind of like, yeah, like the way his demeanor flying up on me right now is like, I am going to jail.
The fact that I was parked and he is moving that fast at me.
Yeah, I remember. Okay, so like there was one time like I took off and I was driving a PT Cruiser in 03 and everything though too. But
That's your grandma's car?
it was my mom's, and I was driving that. Yeah, it was hers at the time, and anyway,
Yeah, I remember the drag racing PT Cruiser.
yeah, and like, oh yeah, we beat the shit out of the thing. But yeah, I was parked on the square in front of the courthouse and everything there, and I don't even know what the hell, like, it came down to. I was drunk, but then I was parked there, and I think I was trying to sober up for a minute or whatever.
Decisions.
Yeah, and then here comes the city cop and everything, the town cop. He comes flying in, his lights are just going and everything. Don't even know why, it just phased me and shit. I just looked there, like, nope, and I just fucking put it in drive, and like he had his lights on. I'm like, nope, and I drove through the courthouse yard, like cut up. I jumped a curb over it, and like drove up through there, went into their parking lot, and went off to the other side, like cut through the square. Like I just drove through the square, and I jumped over there and just went off to the other side, and then like that was just like full on chase, and like we're like, but it was a small town court, and I knew it like the back of my hand. Like I'm just like Tokyo drifting the shit out of this.
There's two fucking roads in Corden, and they don't even have a stoplight.
It's like, but yeah, we finally like I got away. Like there's two cops and everything.
The cop let him go.
Yeah, I got away.
It's like, we ain't catching him. You know where Tim lives, right? Yeah, we know where he lives.
And that's where it came down to it, and that's what sucked about it, because like
They knew who you were.
I got away and everything too, but the cop was right there, and it was like the town cop. I know him, he knows me. I didn't have a license, I don't think, at that time, maybe. And he was like one of the ones that arrested me before. Like he knows me, so like, and he's coming up and everything to see my face, the car, all that shit. And then I got away, and then finally I was driving, and what I should have done was just go somewhere, park, sober up, and go turn myself in. But me, I was just I was an idiot at the time. I was like, well, they know who I am. Like I'm not, it's not like I'm going home. They're just gonna be waiting for me. So I just went back to the square, and I parked up there, and I killed the car and went out, and I sat on the hood, and like, here it comes. I'm lying around there, and they see like pulling up there. They were like, get out. I'm like, I know. Yeah, and I was like, I know, and everything. And I got down, and he goes up like, and he got me like, what the hell? They go, what the hell?
They knew it without his ID.
Oh yeah, like, well, his stepson was my friend and classmate. Like I know him. Like a small town, everybody knows.
Been to his house.
Oh yeah, and he was like, why'd you run? I was like, because I'm drunk. They want to talk to you, and like it's just like full on deal. So
I'm drunk and I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah, I was drunk and I want to talk to the cop.
You go to fucking lie to him.
I heard your end, dude.
I didn't see you, I swear.
Yeah.
Oh, you were behind me.
Shit, how long were you back there, dude?
So we went there.
You must have been going fast.
I think I'm going night blind or something. I can't see much. Rip off the mirror and be like, I don't have a mirror, man. My bad.
Yeah. We did the blow and go all that stuff, obviously. And so I had to spend the night in jail, see the judge in the morning.
Just a night?
Yeah, I mean, it was time served, and then I had to
he was a minor.
Oh, alright, that makes more sense.
12.
No, I wasn't 12. I was 17, probably. Yeah. And
Gotta make it easier for you.
Yeah. But yeah, and then that was that time. But I remember they tried to get me the pay for them to resod the court or the courtyard or the courthouse. They were like, we want you to pay to resod this too on top of my fines and all that stuff. And my lawyer was like, really? You're gonna have to like pay like, and they dropped it. They finally did drop that. And they're like, you have to pay for the resod.
That's the one thing his lawyer won.
Yeah, the rest of it, yeah. I was like,
I'd say a day in jail isn't that bad.
Yeah. Well, I was just, I stayed the night and then I had to do community service and fuck shit like that. But
fuck.
Yeah. I remember that was like obviously the one time I saw him. I was like, I'm going to jail. And that's really like in gear. It's like take off.
Can't get worse.
Yeah.
You know, if you know you're going to have some fun. He specifically said, I'm not saying go on a high-speed chase, and Ted must have turned out the special before that.
Yeah.
It was like the worst I could do. You should have just got out. Maybe you could have got out of it. I don't know.
Fucking roll down the windows and throw the keys. I'm not driving. That's fair.
Wait, this all started because I asked you, do you know who the Iceman Killer is?
Oh, yeah.
Talking about ice truck killer.
Yeah, no, and then we got off topic again. No, the Iceman Killer.
Richard Kuklinski.
Yeah, he told me about him. I've been watching like multiple hours of videos of this man being interviewed. He used to kill people for the mafia.
Oh yeah, that dude. Yeah, he's one of them Facebook algorithm. People knew I was coming at him. They had to either kill me or I was going to kill. Like, dude, fuck off.
No, he used to kill people and then freeze their body for months and then dump it, and the cops couldn't determine when they had died. And he apparently was like using cyanide and stuff. But there's a show on YouTube that he showed me. It's this man. He's being interviewed while he's in prison by a psychiatrist. So he's like telling about how his life
very
is.
Open about
yeah, he's very open, and the way he talks.
In the jail.
Yeah, that's his.
That was like the one thing it was hilarious though was like he was talking in a story and he talked about this hit he was gonna do, and he goes, I dressed in drag and all this stuff because he was in the gay bar and stuff. And then I remember he was telling this story and he talked about, and he said the gays or whatever, and he goes, I'm sorry, he goes, I don't mean to like offend the gays, I don't want the gays to come after me, whatever. I'm like, dude, you're on death row. Like just I was like, and you're telling like, oh, I'm sorry and stuff like that.
And he was a mafia hitman. Yeah. And it's weird, and he was just
very nice.
Yeah, like, very nice while he's being interviewed and all this. And at one point, like, he's telling the stories, and the therapist or the psychiatrist is laughing with him, and they're like, it seems like they're just hanging out, and you forget he's in prison. And he's like, we're having too much fun. People would look at this and think I'm a nice guy, and I'm not a nice guy. Just weirdly, he was weird.
But the stories like over like super bad, but like in a calm, nice, joking way. Like,
yeah,
he told you how he just like strangled this woman. And just, like did like all these things.
Shot a dude in the head with a crossbow.
Right as he put the car into reverse, I put the ice pick in the back of his head.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, the crossbow one. Yeah, that was like, why'd you shoot him? Like just because I want to see if it works.
So if you ever want to like get lost on YouTube, he's the Iceman Killer. And there's just a whole series of him being interviewed by
it was one long interview. It was an HBO special, but I want to say it was like 2 hours long or something.
Yeah, it's pretty long. I've seen multiple interviews of him now.
And that's the one that I think of. Like, someone said that a bunch of his stuff was him like ripping people off of their shit and be like, well, since I'm already going down for murder, and then you start throwing other people's murders on top of it, basically.
Well, I think they had that movie of them too. They have the Iceman movie, or the Iceman movie of everything too. But I was gonna say like they have witnessed it because he had partners and everything too. It was like they said, oh yeah, he killed over 100 people, like 100% killed like over 100 people, and then
man, he's just the fall guy.
I don't know.
Then you go find his family, find out how well they're living.
You just do it. It's like a Monday through Friday type job, I guess. It's just nothing to you, but
I mean, this dude was killing one person a week.
And his family knew nothing.
He had a wife and kids.
His wife, kids, and everything. Just thought he was a businessman. Went to work every day and stuff. Came home, did like. And then one day the FBI got him and everything. They're like, we had no idea that he was a murderer.
On Christmas Eve, someone owed him $1,600, and he went to pick it up on Christmas Eve, and the guy didn't have his money. So he left, went home, came back, and killed him. And then he went home, changed his coat, and continued to put together his kids' Christmas gifts like nothing had happened. He said he watched the news while he was putting together the stuff about the guy being found. And it said it was a mafia-related hit, and he said that's when I realized I was mafia-related.
Whoops.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a badass, though. I mean, yeah, he was a badass.
Not a hero, but fuck.
Yeah, I was like, not praising the guy, but holy shit. Like,
yeah.
It's like, man, you cold.
yeah, and then, like, stuff but, like, what irked me was, like, when he talked about the animals. Then, like, he talked about some animal stuff we did when I was a kid, and I was like, yeah, now...
That's really
I know, like, you're talking about torturing people and everything, too, like, and stuff like that, but then when he started talking about the animals, like, yeah, you're bad. You're a bad guy. It's like, this is the animal part.
Yeah.
The rat thing.
The rat, he used to take people and tie them, like, their hands and their feet, and then leave them in caves or mines, and set up a video camera, and then leave them there, and watch rats eat them alive.
And he'd go back, get the camera, and then he'd watch it.
And he said he watched it because it made him feel something. He didn't know what it made him feel, so he did it a lot, and just kept watching the videos to figure out what was making him feel. Because that was his thing, like, when he killed people and stuff, he didn't feel anything. Like, he would just do it.
He was trying to figure out, like, why. Why don't I feel nothing about this?
What if, like, what he was feeling was his passion for cinematography? What if, like, he was just going the wrong approach? What if, like, this dude's calling in life was to, like, be, like, the world's greatest found footage horror film ever, and he just threw it all away, murdering people?
Yeah.
I mean, still a well-known guy, I guess.
Yeah,
he's dead, though, now.
Yeah, he just died not too long ago, but yeah, he's dead.
Was it COVID?
No, like, actually,
isn't that scary?
Did he die in the,
I don't
lethal injection or something?
Let me look.
I can't remember.
It must have been the same thing that killed Epstein, because...
What was his name?
Richard Kuklinski.
Yeah, do you know how to spell that last one?
I bet autocorrect will figure it out for
Just
you.
put ski.
Kuklinski, yeah, he's the very first thing when you type in Richard K. He died in 2006.
Oh, okay.
So he's been dead for a minute.
Never mind. I thought it was just like not so long ago he died. I was like, all right, yeah.
We're here perpetrating that this man was killed by COVID-19, and he died in 2006.
Who was the guy that just died recently, though?
A lot of people.
Yeah.
No. Like,
Where?
Elaborate.
a murderer guy.
Do you realize how...
Oh, the Ainville Whore guy. The guy that, the Ainville Whore.
The guy who killed his family?
Yeah, he just died. Like, he just died.
Did you know about that?
Or whatever.
The Amityville Horror? It's like one of those demon movies.
Oh, I know the movie. I didn't know about him dying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like true story and all that stuff too. But he was like in prison. They died, and then he died, and then they were just kind of like, well, we'll never know if there was like anything else. Like he never said anything differently happened or anything. He stuck to his guns about the story and stuff. So then he died, and it was like, well, it must have been, I guess. But
Man, that's fucking crazy.
But like, yeah, all that happened, and that other family moved in, and they were only there for 28 days before they moved. They're like, no, fuck that house. Like they saw weird shit. There was like ooze coming from the walls and stuff.
Yeah, the first fucking time.
It's like, no.
Like, I can handle a little bit of light haunting. I think I'm a little bit of light haunted, but there's a certain point where I'm like, nope, I'm out. And I'm out quick.
First of all, I'm going to better have a hell of a deal on an axe murder house. Immediately.
10 grand.
Yeah, you see, that's going to drive up the price because there's people that are into that.
I guess, but back then there.
So you're probably not going to be in the market for this house for long. So why are we telling a realtor how to sell tea?
Yeah, he just died recently. I didn't see that.
Moving, these people knew they were moving into a haunted house.
Yeah.
And the fact that it still took them only 28 days to be like, yeah, this is too haunted.
Yeah.
That's the part that I'm like, I'm bothered by.
Well, maybe they weren't like super into it. They thought they were into it, but had never experienced something, and that was the first thing. They're like, okay, shit, this is real.
Well, that might have been before, the laws where they had to tell them too. I don't know. Maybe they didn't tell them. They're like, fuck that house.
That pop up on Zillow.
Well, I know because when they sold that,
lake house
when they originally bought it, the realtor never told them that somebody had died in the house.
Yeah, that's a private.
And when like while that shit was going on to the family the first time, they were talking to the lawyer and the realtor about, why didn't you tell us, we're going to sue you, what's going on, trying to get information about what had happened. And yeah, then shit just went downhill and he went all killy
stabby
cut. I watched Year One again.
Oh
God, it is so good. I forgot how much I liked Jack Black because that movie is hilarious. I thought it was stupid just thinking about it, and then I watched it and I was like, all right, yeah. And then I watched what's his other one? Not School of Rock. Tenacious D.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
We were
I
watching
just-
that one too, and Abby was like, "Does Pat know that he's Jack Black?" I'm like, "I think he's going for it at this."
I love Jack
Then
Black.
Tropic Thunder.
Oh yeah, I watched Tropic Thunder too.
Tropic Thunder's A1.
Robert Downey Jr. Rogan asked him if you could make Tropic Thunder today. He goes, "Well, you could make it."
Yeah, you could make it, but I don't know if it would be received well.
It's such a good movie though.
Yeah.
I think if they made it today and still cast him as him,
Yeah.
I think it'd be fine. I think if they tried to like cast him as a white character and have someone else be in blackface, there might be an issue.
I love that meme too. It's like, if Tony Stark was black, who would you give him to play? And they showed him Robert Downey Jr. So they showed him like black Robert Downey Jr.
It'd still be
Robert.
I'm still over there.
I bet we get pulled from YouTube.
I don't know.
We'll find out. Is that enough, do you think? I don't think that was very bad. That was funny.
I don't think so.
We'll see. If you guys don't see us on YouTube, we were here.
They wouldn't know because they wouldn't see this part.
We'll put this clip out. Just this snippet.
Specifically, that's how we're going to perpetrate the conspiracy. We're going to pretend that there was this clip that we made that was so controversial that it got banned from the internet instantly. But there's all this footage of us talking about said clip. The kicker is we never recorded this.
It's recording right now.
It was actually written by Dr. Seuss and illustrated by Hitler himself. I recommend this as a must-read children's book for all people. It's only in 2 languages.
So I'm thinking you're upset about Dr. Seuss?
Nah, I don't give a shit. I was more impressed by the fact that they had fucking Dr. Seuss displays like set up in Target the day they announced they were going to stop printing those books.
Obviously.
It's like they knew like, hey, this is going to create a boom in
Cash in.
demand, so we're going to put all these books, because everybody started buying books like, what are they banning these? And they're like, fuck off. Did you even want the little racist... Oh!
That might do it.
That was actually a line from one of the banned books, though. That's the thing. Like, no one's even mentioning that. But like, these books were racist as fuck.
Yeah.
I'd never read the Dr. Seuss books. Like, I read...
How did you not
Hold
read
on,
Dr.
let me correct myself.
You mean just the ones that they were...
Yeah, I have no idea which
okay.
ones they reference. I read, like, Green Eggs and Ham, and maybe I read The Cat in the Hat. I seen the movie. But other than that, I didn't... Unless he did the Caterpillar book, because I can remember that. Or Red Fish, Blue Fish. I remember that one. That was a good one. And The Grinch. I suppose. Forgot he did that. But... Yeah, they just canceled The Grinch.
No, they didn't.
Wow.
That was not one of the
I
six.
thought they canceled Dr. Seuss, though.
But you know they did that though, just to spike them. I like put the shit out there because obviously they were like, hey, you guys know what happened to Aunt Jemima, all their bottles and all that stuff. It was like you might want to put these out.
I bought a bottle and
I did
opened
too.
it.
I got that,
Yeah.
and I even bought an Uncle Ben's one, and I have a Redskins thing, and I was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna keep
Wait,
some
you
of
have
that.
Redskin stuff?
Yeah.
That's probably the one thing that I would like out of any of that shit I would have made sure to have.
Yeah, the Redskin stuff.
Because that one's still like, they completely like changed. They rebranded entirely.
What?
I guess
Isn't that
the-
Washington? Now
I
they're
guess
just the
same thing
Washington
happened with
football
the
team?
Browns, though, because weren't the Browns originally the Oilers?
Yes.
Yeah, but the original Browns team is now the Ravens. So I guess it doesn't really matter too much when names change, but I guess this one is recent. I don't even know what the fuck caused it to change. My favorite response.
Are you talking about the Redskins?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
The Chiefs
Indians.
said they're not changing theirs. The Braves, they're not changing.
The Indians are though, aren't they? The baseball Indians. Aren't they?
Oh, I don't follow baseball, bro.
Okay, never mind.
I know Chicago Blackhawks were like, we've been around since before racism. We are a mostly predominantly Canadian and white hockey league, so no.
Yeah, I think Indianola did a poll and it was like almost unanimous. Like no.
Like, we don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Is anyone actually offended by this in the immediate vicinity? Okay.
Yeah.
What is the city thing?
That was probably the one thing that pissed me off the most. I had to do my ethics and sensitivity training
Oh, God.
for Wells Fargo.
To be a fly on the wall for that meeting with you, that would have
It
been
wasn't a
great.
meeting. This was like pre-made training, like on Develop U site.
Oh.
And one of the things was about how if somebody makes an offensive joke, but there's no one around to be offended by it, is it still offensive? And I'm like, no. And like, you can still get in trouble. Like, okay, if I didn't offend anyone anyone, and there's no one there that's offended, who's reporting me? Unless there's some jackass like, fuck Chris.
This is a victimless crowd.
Then there might be an issue. I mean, I get you can't be running around spouting off racist shit at work. That's probably a given.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Yeah, you were halfway in.
If there's no one there to be upset by it, like, why?
What's the whole point of this conversation right now?
That too.
Yeah.
I had to sit through 30 minutes of training for this.
Yeah, I'd be so pissed.
Man.
Like, you literally pulled me in here just to tell me that bad jokes are bad.
Well, because it also comes with the video. Because it's about uncovering your biases. Okay,
No.
You've seen this video, I'm sure. You haven't. So they first set you that you know what you're going into because it tells you right
These are
away.
like the old shitty like Dare movies.
No. It's
Oh.
better than that because like before, it prefaces it by telling you that it's going to be about cultural biases, and so like you know that going into the fucking video, and the video starts where a man of Indian descent, I'm assuming Indian descent, just based on my culture cues and how he
It's
looks.
Arabic of some sort.
Yes.
Maybe.
And he comes in first, looks around, he's very stern, very serious looking. And then a woman comes in behind him. She has a head wrap on, light blue color, kind of see-through, so I know it's not a hijab.
Yeah.
I know that. I know it's not.
It's not
Muslim.
turban.
I know it's not Muslim headdress. So I'm assuming they're Indian. And so, like, 'cause as I'm watching, like I said, I'm very aware.
Okay, so it's wrapped loose or more like a
A veil.
see-through.
Yeah.
So I know it's not.
Okay, I know what you mean.
Okay.
It's not like black, you can't see through it.
Yes.
Okay.
So, and like I said, I'm aware that I'm watching a video about facing your biases. So I'm like picking at things. Like I'm very hyper aware of it, and like this is not the right way to fucking approach this in any way, shape, or form to begin with. But then like the guy, he takes his shoes off, feels the carpet, and then then he sits down. The woman sits after him. He takes a drink of something, sets it down, and then hands it to her. He never speaks to her or makes eye contact with her directly, and she never speaks to him. When someone comes, he addresses them, and then he leans down, lets her whisper to him, and then he speaks to the person that comes to take their order. And at the end, they like ask questions like, "What was the power dynamic of this relationship?" I'm like, clearly, that woman's in charge. And apparently, that was like the wrong answer. They wanted me to pick the man. Because since the woman wasn't allowed to speak in public, clearly she was being oppressed. Like, no, she's in charge.
Yeah.
She's being protected.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if it's because I approached it with that bias, like knowing that that's what they were trying to imply.
So it made you look for something different?
Yeah, and then it pisses me off, like, because they're going to act pompous about, like, we knew you would say, like, you pre-gamed me to say that.
Yeah.
You gaslighted me, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so that's why I don't like. I get why they do the training, but fuck you guys spent 75 years ripping people off. I think we can come up to the point that there might have been some racism and naughty words said.
We had to do sensitivity training on transgenders when I was a security guard one time. That was kind of an awkward talk, but
I don't see that being applicable to your job if you had to like pat down someone.
so when truck drivers came in and stuff, that too, like once in a while, like for some reason there was quite a few of them that like they just came in, they're cross dressers and stuff like that too. They just walked in. You can clearly tell this is biologically man stuff too. They got to be somewhat nice about it. I'm saying like, how we doing, ma'am? You know, or something like, hey, how we
How
doing?
frequent is this in the trucking community?
It's surprisingly more than you think. I probably like it was kind of.
Scotty has never once mentioned this.
Yeah, it was kind of a surprise to me actually. Like
Dude, I'm shook right now.
like when the whole time I was there, I was probably there like 2 years. I probably came across like 4 or 5. I know it's not like that much, but like down there, small town, like that's actually kind of like, oh my god, like what that far and few between.
If
So
I had a nickel every time this happened, I'd have 4 nickels. That's not a lot, but it's still a lot of times for this to happen.
yeah, and like but yeah, like sometimes like on their driver's license, there was their name and everything too. But like when they came in, they checked in. Yeah, they had to tell us their name and stuff. Like, well, what's your name? They're like, well, it's, Lisa, whatever. And I'm like, it's not showing up. And it's like, is that the name on your driver driver's license. No, it's Larry. And I'm like, why couldn't you just tell me that? I either get it changed. Like, why'd you make me go through this whole, like, it was this awkward encounter sometimes.
Why didn't you update your information?
I was like, I'm trying.
I need you to do your due diligence.
Yeah, it's like I'm trying to be so like quickly correct and like nice about it, and like
I will call you whatever.
You're so panicked you're gonna fuck up.
yeah, like I'm gonna lose my job for fucking this up or something. I was like, sorry, sir, ma'am, you know, whatever.
I'll call you whatever you want me to call you. Just make sure it's what's on your fucking license.
Get the documents you give me to address you by. Make sure it's what you want it to say, because I'm gonna go off this card.
I remember that. It was like, oh, Lisa, whatever. Like, is that name? No, it's Larry. Like, just start with that, bro. Like, you're not trying to pick me up. I don't care if your name's Lisa or Larry. It gives a fuck. Whether just check in and go. I don't give a shit. It's 3 a.m. It's night shift. Just fucking go. Whatever.
When we went to Disney World, I went as a doctor.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
And I was laughing my ass off because I was sitting there thinking there was like if something happened wrong in the plane. They're like, is there a doctor on board? And they look at you like, ha ha.
So I thought about that. I wasn't a doctor for the plane ride. I was only a doctor inside Disneyland Park in the resort, or Disney World Park in the resort. That's because you get to pick your title. And I was like, well, they don't have Lord, so I'm going to go with Doctor.
You don't need doctors in Disney World. They have magic.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I thought it was like the.
No, I was not doing that for the plane because I've seen shows where that shit happens. No, I don't want. Give me some more blankets.
Is anyone a doctor? Yeah, but not one that's any use.
I'm a rapper.
Yeah.
I am a doctor of mathematics. Doctor of thugonomics. As he's having a heart attack, stealing his wallet.
Doctor of sociology. Oh, nothing to do with this.
I can talk to him about how he feels.
I'm still thinking about like
The poop in the yard.
no, if you're driving past a semi and it's got like the girl mud flaps and shit on the back of it, it's got like an angry looking face like grinning at you, and it's got flames on it and this fucking spike hubcaps, and the guy in the front's fucking winger just wearing a goddamn wedding dress.
Just the wedding dress
He
with
just
the
sitting
veil.
there listening to Barbie Girl.
Just every time a car comes by, just mean mugs it.
No, just smiles at it.
It's like
He's wearing a tiara and shit.
I'd do it that's just funny.
Like, that's
if
fine.
if you're just fucking with people because your job is to drive for 15 hours
That's
a day.
what I thought he was talking about.
Yeah.
First, I'm like, I just imagine.
I could see that. I could see that as a joke.
I don't know.
But it could have been serious.
Yeah, they might have been fucking with me or doing something. They could have been because I mean, this dude the one time came out and he's wearing like a sundress just to his knees, like it was like to his knees, and he was like wearing like
that cab.
what?
Maybe, man.
Top of that cab.
The breeze.
He's wearing that, and it was like a flowery greenish one and stuff. And he's like full on beard, like full beard, just long hair. Like it was just like a dude dressed in like all this woman shit and everything. It's
Like a fantasy football punishment, having to wear a dress out somewhere.
I don't know. Like, I just think this guy was just a creepy dude who's like, yeah, I found this at Goodwill, and I think I'm going to take it home. like that type of thing.
Wow, if this stays up on, I'm going to be fucking surprised. This is going to be the subscribe to view episode. Welcome to Patreon.
I'm supposed to say hi, Mom.
Her name is
can't-
Tracy. Just rapping shit like that.
God.
Like, I don't know. I should be worried or not.
And just elaborate on the thought of the guy in the truck. He also has his OnlyFans URL on the door. Is that where
What the fuck?
Call me.
sometimes you never take a thought too far?
I mean, sometimes, but never,
Oh, I love that.
never go down that alley.
There's that one guy.
It just goes.
There's that one guy protesting too. Like, he had the billboard out. It said demanding equal pay for OnlyFans for male and female. It's equal pay for
Don't you set your own price?
but he's just demanding like.
I assume
equal
girls
pay.
can charge more than
Oh
guys.
yeah.
Well, that's supply and demand. That's nothing being reinforced by any structure.
Okay, but I'm just saying like supply.
It's still funny though. It's
So, supply and demand for like physically fit guys, roof houses, or like all these cheerleaders. Like, there's a supply and demand.
Oh no, I'm waiting for the drop off or the bounce back.
It's bounce back.
So over the years, we flooded the market with dick pics, and that is why you can't send them anymore, right? I'm thinking OnlyFans
Are you predicting the return of dick pics?
Yes, I am predicting a drop in the stock of pussy. Invest in GME. GameStop to the top, baby.
Full rod.
To the moon.
To the moon, paper hands.
Diamond hands, bitch.
But yeah, I actually think it's going to cause, like, this is going to have a lasting effect, I think, on us as a species. Like, this, like, I have no issues with sex work. I feel like it's an honest job. I can't fucking do it. I'm not good looking enough. If I was, I would. But I feel like just how, like, it's always been around.
It's the oldest professional.
But I mean, it's become much more,
and it's legal in some countries.
Yeah, it's just become much more mainstream now. It's much more socially acceptable. And we've already kind of like seen the rise of incels, and I think that might be part of it. But I'm not really pinning on that. I think that's just a bunch of dudes being pussies for one. But I just feel like it's going to cause like a dynamic switch.
A swing.
Yeah, people said it was this what happened before in the 70s with the whole free love movement, how that rubber banded into how stern they were after that for a while.
That was the 80s.
Okay, so do you think it's going to switch over to...
Yeah, that's when they like started putting out parental advisory stickers and shit.
Oh, yeah, they tried to ban video games and fucking...
Yeah.
Which Republicans?
They banned fighting.
Cancel culture? Republicans. Who's the original cancel culture? Republicans. They're just better than us.
But I don't know, because some of that shit
failed.
just, I don't know.
They did fail. Bounced back hard, though. Grunge.
I'm just saying, when
Like
they
that
want to ban
whole-
something, they fucking murder it. Republicans want to ban something, the stock price goes up. It's crazy.
I think it's probably just an inside job at that point.
Yes, it's price fixing.
Okay, but do you think like you said like flooding the market with dick pics and
Oh, man, I was hoping to skate right by that. All right, let's go back.
but
That was just my literary device to get us from
do you
point
think
A to B.
That's going to be the sound
no.
pick for the intro.
do you think that
Back to dick pic.
back to dick pics?
Back to flooding the market with defense.
I'm serious. That's going to be the intro.
Do you think it's going to be like more guys are going to be a strong independent man that doesn't need that, or do you think it's just going to be just a shit ton of dick pics?
Oh no, I'm saying we need to start investing in ball shavers, and you've already seen it online.
Manscaping. And all
Yeah,
that.
you have been seeing the increase in these ads, right? It's coming.
Maybe guys just like hygiene now. They're not. They're okay with it.
Well, yeah, it has to be presentable for the dick pic.
So dick pics are coming.
It's coming back in a big way.
Who do you think is going to start?
I'm really pushing for Bernie Sanders.
Oh, my God.
Ooh, God.
I really want him to. No, I don't want him to get. That'd be one of those things where you never fucking like when
He's almost dead.
When Anthony Weiner got caught sending dick pics, like yeah, his last name's Weiner. Like how do you not? But if like Bernie Sanders was doing it for one, I'd be like, what?
Yeah.
Next thing, I'm clicking the link.
Yeah, exactly. You're getting them views, man.
I need to know if it looks like Doc from Back to the Future.
Harrison Ford. Yeah, this
I'm glad you brought
is
this.
what it is, kids. Here you go, just be nonchalant about it.
What the fuck? Clint Eastwood?
I think you need to get rid of the kids part. That's
Nah. if you're that old, like everybody's a kid to you. Like nah. Like if I'm that old, I'm like yeah, kid. I'm looking at you.
that's how we started.
Nah, that's gonna get hidden in the episode. Only the people that stick around get to see that part. I like to think that we get more offensive the longer it goes.
Yeah, that's because you forget that you're being.
Yeah, you forget you're being recorded and you just start talking shit for a laugh.
Okay, so do you think pedophiles are a mental disability, or do you think that's just a stupid ass thing?
Both.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm a little unlike. Yes, I agree. Like there's something mental about it, but that should not be a crutch for you to get out of your.
No one said it. Even and this is the problem with listening, because I mean, for one, you have to say you have to listen to the pedophile.
Yeah, and that's where I'm at.
Which everyone's like, I don't think I want to listen to the guy that wants to fuck kids.
Yeah.
But when the way that they're articulating it is they have a mental condition where they are attracted to minors. Stop. It is their responsibility to not act on that. And that's what they say, and that's what they come out and say that. Everyone's like, well, I don't want to agree with the pedophile, but he's right.
Yeah, no, I totally get that, but like I didn't know at one point like somebody's gonna use that in the court. I'd be like, no, it's just a mental deal. Try to get off.
I'm sure it's come up and they're like,
already-
no, you still have to be responsible for yourself.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Let's go do that one. Like get on that jury, be like, no.
It's like, I need to be removed. Give me the fucking fuck out of here.
I think you can ask to be removed from jurors.
You can, and especially if there's it's a case where it involves children. If you have children, you can ask to be excused and stuff like that. Our jury selection process is kind of a joke, to be honest with you, though. Because I feel like being able to excuse specific members of the jury kind of defeats the purpose of a jury of your peers. Like,
yeah, you do get to kind of pick the jury then. But at the same time, if you have a way to, like...
My life's being decided by 12 jackasses that couldn't get a jury, dude.
Yeah. And Joey Diaz.
I had jury duty one time, and I didn't have to go. That was it. I had 3 days off of work, and I didn't have to go. Like, they told me to call. I called, and they said, okay, report for these 3 days. I took those 3 days off of work. I was getting ready to go that first morning, and I got a message from them saying, don't report. And I never told work that I didn't have to go.
I would have done the same thing.
Just take 3 days off. And since it's jury duty, it's not your PTO. It's just,
yeah.
I mean, I had the paperwork that said yeah, I mean, if you're supposed to be tried by a jury of your peers, it should actually be of your peers. I'm not. But the other issue is, like, my peers are dumb as shit. I would like to be judged by a jury of the more educated members of my peers. Can I pick the case? I would like to pick the jury myself, and it's going to be mostly rich people, to be honest with you, because they're just going to say not guilty to go home.
Yeah, seem going that way.
I don't know. I think if I was rich, I would. By the way, I didn't win the lottery.
I think you check mine.
Yeah, you do. Anyway, if I was rich, I'd probably sit in on jury duty just because I'm rich. I don't have to do anything. Everything I want to do, I can do for fun. It'd be cool to sit on a cool jury. Like for O.J. Simpson's trial, that would have been awesome.
Well, my issue with that is you can't talk to the other jurors about the fucking trial, which would be like...
What?
Yeah, you can't discuss the trial with the other jurors. That's like part of the thing. You're not allowed to until the end.
When you decide?
When they deliberate. That's the only time you're allowed to discuss the case with the other jurors, which would piss me off. Like, if you're on a case that's like a week, 2 weeks long, and it's the same jackasses every day, and I have to, like, eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner with you because I can't go home and be exposed to outside media, I'm going to want to talk to you guys about what we've been doing for 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
And I don't want to forget what we were talking about.
Yeah. I want to, gauge what's going on. Like, what's my understanding? But that's the whole point of, like, they don't want to...
You get your own aspect and go into it.
Because there could be, like, one really persuasive, manipulative motherfucker on that trial. He's like, hey, this is what they were saying. And by the end of the case, like, that guy decided the trial.
Yeah, my dad was getting picked one time. He was telling me about it. They went there, and this guy, he went against a restraining order, went into his house, and was getting he went against a restraining order to his wife, and the defendant and the plaintiff, yeah, they were all sitting there and they were trying to pick out the juries, and all that shit, and they're like kind of saying like, anybody have anything to kind of say about it or whatever, but then my dad said, yeah, he goes, I think that's stupid. He goes, he went back to his house to grab his shit because the bitch won't let him into his house to grab his stuff, and like and everything too. We
want him on our team. I want him gone.
Yeah, and that was pretty much it. He looked over, he saw the defendant, he was smiling like that, he kind of like grinned and everything.
I told you.
And then he said, I kind of saw his lawyer kind of go like, damn it, because he outspoke, so he got excused from it. So the defendant was like, damn it, we lost that one. He was like, that was telling you what he's trying to do. But yeah, he like spoke out. He goes, no, that's fucking stupid. And like spoke out about it.
You ever seen Runaway Jury?
I've seen bits and pieces when I was a kid.
It's really good about the jury selection process and like the rules.
Yeah, it's like that guy who tries to steal a jury, right?
No, there's a guy he is a professional jury selector.
Yeah. And
the movie starts with a work shooting. Guy walks into his office and just starts blasting coworkers. The case is against the gun manufacturer because they were producing. It was one of the grips they were selling. It didn't hold oil, and so there were no fingerprints on it. And like that was like them being complacent. It was like their point. And so this guy is a professional at packing juries. Like that's what he does. He's a professional in the jury selection process. And they go into like how they start with 100 some odd people, and they hold the light interview process and like what they're looking for, what demographics they're wanting for each individual case. And then it goes into detail about like what their job is after after the trial. I'm like, that dude's done. Like, that's the part where I you kind of have to suspend your imagination a bit. But yeah, it does a really good job talking about like how they select a jury, the stuff that goes in. They had the same thing. They had the guy that became outspoken because while they were doing the trials or the selections, they were doing the light interviewing, and it's dramatic because it's a fucking movie. And this guy's like doing the normal question, very calm, and one person's like, all right, you want to excuse him? He's like, why are you excusing me? And like starts getting upset that he's being excused because he wants on this fucking trial, and like, we just don't think that you're going to be a good fit for the jury. And like, he reaches into his bag and like pulls out a bloody heart. He's like, this is a bloody heart of all the children killed by the gun industry. Like, that's why they wanted him gone.
Yeah. That might have done that.
That might have been the moment. But yeah, it goes into detail on that really well.
I'm more of a jury duty with Pauly Shore movie.
Pauly Shore.
You seen that movie?
I have not.
You ever seen Jury Duty? Oh, you too.
I have not.
I worked with a guy that got in a fight with Pauly Shore.
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
you did too?
No, I
was like,
also got
no fucking way.
No,
you had me. You should have lied.
My uncle argued with him at Funny Bone one time, but either way, go on with your deal. Yeah,
that's where this guy I worked with.
Yeah, maybe it was your uncle.
No, it was just kind of like he was a dick and he was getting hackled or something.
That's what this dude was saying. He was like, he wasn't very good, and he was like aggressively hitting on his girlfriend while they were sitting in the front row. And he's like, we're not fucking doing that. And then like he met him in the parking lot. Like, what the fuck? Like, Pauly Shore followed him to his fucking car.
Jesus.
What the was that your uncle?
No,
You're trying to fight Pauly Shore.
No, like he was doing something like hackling their guy or something too at the Funny Bone or talking.
Oh, your uncle saw it happen to a guy.
Yeah, he like.
Okay, I thought you said it was your uncle.
No, like, and he said something.
I wonder if this was the same
night,
the same situation, just from two different places.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
But like,
Pauly Shore's an asshole.
Because you said he was a dick, and somebody like he goes, just go on, and he just like said something like, just get on with it, or whatever. Because it was just got to the point where it was just like blatantly everybody was pissed, and he's like really dogging this one guy and stuff, and like he looked over, he goes, you can shut up and everything. Like looked up type to him, tried to say, fuck this guy. But he was like, I'm not even getting into it. He goes, I'm not gonna beat the shit out of Pauly Shore. Just like, fuck this.
Maybe
That's
just
the
that guy.
entire Funny Bone rushed the stage, tarred and feathered Pauly Shore.
Yeah, but I've heard that before. He's just a dick. Like, I don't know how funny that's that shit. But I would still meet the guy and everything too, and get my own opinion about it.
I met Jim Jeffries. That was weird. Like, it was cool, but he wasn't how I expected him. Maybe it's because he just like wasn't expecting to like meet people after his show,
or because he like just did comedy on stage. He's like, I am done being funny.
Yes. Well, not even that. Just like I felt maybe he was just tired. I don't know what the fuck was going on. Maybe it was just an off night,
sobered up.
But in my experience of meeting the man, it was just like he was awesome. Like he gave us a picture. He said, "What's up with us?" But he didn't like want to talk to anybody. But there's like 10 people there to get pictures and he wasn't doing a thing. We just waited after the show one night, and we're like, "Fuck yeah!" Because me and Baker went, and we waited after the show. A bat fucked up his show. Like he got chased by a bat. We were at the Hoyt Sherman place, and a bat kept swooping down at him while he was trying to tell jokes. And there was another heckler that he fucking destroyed. And then we just waited after the show, and we met him, got pictures with him, but he was just like, I expected his energy to be up higher than what it was, but it was cool. He was nothing but nice.
My dad's friend, Jimmy, Jimmy's, I can't think of his last name, but Jimmy. He met Sylvester Stallone at a diner, and he went to go ask for his autograph and stuff too, and he said no. He's like walking, he goes, hey man, I'm kind of a big fan of stuff, can I get your autograph? And he was kind of a little bit, I guess he was kind of a little bit polite, but still stern about it. He goes, nah, he goes, if I give you one, I gotta give everybody autograph stuff. He goes, I just want to eat and stuff. And anyway, he kind of got mad. He goes, fuck you, Rambo. And he got like,
Rambo was being a fucking asshole.
Fuck you, Rambo. Fuck you, Rambo. And like turned around, like walked away. Yeah, he did. Fuck you, Rambo.
Did he get this autograph after?
I think he just turned around like, fuck that guy. Because I'm sure he
turned around and Arnold Schwarzenegger was there like, I would like to shake your hands.
Did you see the dude who drop kicked Arnold Schwarzenegger?
In the back? Like,
yeah. He was at, it was years ago, but he was at like some...
never saw it coming.
Yeah, never saw it coming. He was at some event and somebody just ran up behind him and drop kicked him and like he didn't move.
He just like turned that happened.
Yeah.
It was at the Arnold, not last year, but the year before, 2019.
He just turns around like, what the hell hit me?
Because he wanted to be the one that took down Arnold.
Mm-hmm.
It was like the special guys, like in prison, like the big time guys. They got to be in high security because like everybody wants to be the guy that killed him or be the chef. So anybody wants to.
It's not because he's a violent inmate. It's everyone else that's really violent to him. I think that was one of those parody documentaries. And it was following the biggest guy in prison, and like it was a really big buff dude, but he had a really high pitched voice. He's like, "Oh no, everybody always tries to start fights with their first day in jail. It's really starting to piss me off." And like it shows him like walking into the lunchroom, like some guy running up, like jumping off the table and punching him in the face.
Whoa!
And like not even flinching. He's like, "Why is this happening?" Like, you know why it keeps happening.
I'm sorry, I'm big. Didn't mean this.
It was the opposite.
I was in here for fucking speeding, and I just keep getting into fights. Do you think when he showed up to jail, the old biggest guy just backed down, or was there a fight?
Oh no, that dude disappeared. That guy's like, I'm done. That guy was just happy he could start lifting again.
Yeah.
Like a Green Mile situation. Just a really nice guy but big. You just go up and crack him. Just look at it down
Exactly.
there.
Like, why would you do that?
Fuck that.
That dude was massive. Michael Clark Duncan.
Yeah. He was in the whole 9 yards. Yeah, with Chandler.
He was Biggie Smalls' bodyguard.
He died.
Yes, he did. I
He's
think
gonna get shot.
Yeah, he was either off or he wasn't working for him when he died. But yeah, he used to be his bodyguard.
What was
Do you guys? I have a random question for you. Do you believe in the moon landing?
Yes.
Do I believe that there's a moon?
No. Do you believe that we landed and walked on the moon?
You believe in the fucking moon?
I believe that's something happened.
Okay, I just want to make sure because a lot of people don't believe in the moon, and I don't know why. Or in the moon landing. Yeah. Or yeah. Do you guys believe in the moon landing?
Yes.
Okay, Paco, do you have a definitive answer on this one?
I don't.
No, you don't know if you believe or not.
I don't.
What makes you question your belief?
Why would they lie to me?
So then you believe we landed on it.
But what is the reason to lie to me? Like, where do they make... Now they're going to, like, say it's for the control or the power. Like, where are you getting control by me thinking there's a moon?
Here. If I were to argue that we didn't land on the moon, I would say that we would lie and say that we did because at the time we were in a space race with Russia, and whoever gets to the moon first proves that they can get there, and if they wanted, they could theoretically build a base there easier. And then you control space, it'd be like us controlling air.
But if the United States lied about it, Russia would have known.
Right. But the American people would have thought we did, and that's propaganda to the best. You have your entire country behind you.
But then there'd be a bunch of Russians thinking that they landed there first, if that was how they were going to play it.
Maybe. They never did. Like, they never had to play it. I'm just saying, if I were to argue that it was fake, we would have faked it because of that, and then that would have bought us time to get to the moon. Because even back then, they couldn't really... I don't know if you could see a flag from the Earth with a telescope at that point. I don't know how good the zoom was on that. I mean, sure, you could probably see planets, but you're not getting stuff in detail.
They couldn't get past the asteroid belt around the planet, so they couldn't even make it to the moon.
Oh, the Kepler belt?
Yeah.
It's a radiation belt, not an asteroid belt. Very distinctive difference.
See, I've only argued with people about this on the internet a few times, and I think they're all stupid. So
Yeah, dude.
So I don't actually listen to the words that they say. I kind of like register the thought and like go back to see if they're making it.
Yeah. So if I were to... Yeah, but here's totally why I believe we landed on the moon. You can use the rocket equation to calculate the weight that you would need to get to the moon, how much fuel you would need. And then for that fuel, you'd have to use that weight and add how much fuel to get that fuel into where it needs to be. So with all that fuel, that was most of what the launch was fuel just to get there. So where did all this fuel go on these full things? Because it went that far. It shows all that fuel was burned off. So where did the fuel go? And it had to be loaded on there because they weigh the things before they launch them to make sure that it's right. There's a scale right there. So you know what it weighs. I mean, you could argue that they tampered with the scale, but then why the fuck did they go there?
They tampered with the fuel.
I mean, you could argue down the rabbit hole that it's fake, but your argument becomes less and less based in fact and more circumstantial.
Like, where's the corruption stop at this point?
Yeah, and how many people are you bringing into this?
Like, how far down do we go? Because each step down, each person we loop in, that's another.
And the videos, so the astronauts walking on space, the moon is 1/6 the gravity of Earth. So everything that falls in those videos has to fall at 1/6 the speed that it would fall on Earth, because that's how gravity fucking works. So every piece of dust that you see in those videos that's falling, you would have to have a string that you couldn't see on camera lowering that at 1/6 the speed on Earth. And just to do that, it would be harder to fake it because you have to do that with every speck of dust than it would be to go to the fucking moon. And that's why I think we landed on it.
I'm just a firm believer.
Oh, yeah. But, I mean, they could have totally lied to me. I could be wrong. But I just picked my side.
They faked the moon landing, but the director was such a stickler that he wanted to film on location.
No, so here's some fucked up shit, though.
Yep, so we had to go to the goddamn moon.
NASA tried to pass off a picture of, like, their simulation run, so when they'd go out into the desert with the rovers and the spaceships and have them simulate being on the moon for their walk. NASA took pictures of that, and they blacked out one of the pictures and sent it to a newspaper to publish, and then it came out, hey, yeah, we just blacked out the background and pretended this was a moon picture. Then one of those European countries, I don't know which one, NASA gave them a rock from the moon. They said that one of the astronauts took off the moon. Well, the country they gave it to tested it to see what it was, and it was petrified wood. So it was a fake that NASA tried to pass off. And those two things are for sure that's what happened. Like, there, you can read the news articles about it, you can see NASA talks about it, and they say, yeah, we did this. So, I mean, you could argue that maybe some of it's fake because they didn't know if they'd actually get there and back, but they wanted to say that they did, so they made fake footage but happened to not need it. Or maybe there's just some fuck-ups. Hey, we need this on a deadline, we didn't get it there, use this fake one.
Gotcha.
But then the same thing, like, why'd you send that rock to another country and try to pass it off? Maybe I could see it as like a country greed thing where you're like, no, we're not giving you a moon rock. We're the only country that gets it. I could see that.
It was Buzz Aldrin that had the moon rock, and they were like, all right, you gotta turn in. He was like, this is my fucking.
Dude, that guy he says some crazy shit. He says there's a monolith on one of the moons of Pluto.
Where you punched him?
Yeah, he's a madman.
I love him. I love him.
He thinks there's monoliths on one of Pluto's moons. Yeah.
You want to tell me this man? He's been there.
He hasn't been to Pluto.
He's been to space.
He ain't been to Pluto.
You been to space?
I haven't been to space, but
he's been to space.
He ain't been to Pluto.
He worked for NASA.
Yeah, that's true. I do know that. That's what I'm saying. That's crazy.
Like, how much does this?
But he kind of.
If he's opening up with the monolith, though, what shit is he still hiding?
Maybe that's what if he starts with his strongest play? What if he's a horrible poker player and just leads with his best shit? No, what if everything after that's
he's gotta have something else? Because if that was like his biggest,
he's like fucking 100. Don't you think he'd say it?
If he had something else, they would have taken him out. If that was like his biggest play, like he's got something bigger. Like there's aliens.
They're in North Korea. I mean, governments have already been saying there's aliens, and nobody's We've talked about this so many fucking times.
I think it's just because it's been so diluted over all the years of just like hopefully and everything. And now it's just like, yeah, it's real. Like, okay, but we've been hoping for it, and it wasn't like a big.
Until we get.
You are not the normal person that tells me it's real. Normally they have like really thick glasses and like crazy hair.
I think it's until we get a video of them like, boom, on all these news outlets, super huge.
That's what I'm thinking.
Like until we get one of those.
No big boom. Though.
Yeah, it's government like surveillance footage and shit like that, radar footage. Until we get a mass sighting in like.
Well, I mean, even if we do, like people would try to say it's fake.
Yeah, but now we have so many phones. Like all of our phones have cameras on it, and a lot of phones have really good cameras on it. And if that
say it was just some like mass marketing.
Yeah, but if that
like the clowns, remember the clowns?
I do remember the clowns, but they weren't marketed anything. Nothing got marketed.
Clown costumes.
I suppose. I suppose.
Gun sales went up.
Anyway, I lost my train of thought.
Sorry.
No, you're good. I don't remember.
You said what it was going to take to people believe the mass.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a giant one of those, and everybody has a camera on their phone. So now it'd be millions of videos of this thing from different angles.
Would you believe it, those still? If someone had, like, said, hey, there's a bunch of videos from China on people's phones of them pointing at this spaceship, I'd be like, Chinese propaganda. How'd you get a text message out of China?
I would want to see the different... I'd probably look at, like, 50 different angles and see if it all lines up exactly. And if it did, I'd be like, that fucking
Oh,
happened.
you mean like when the fireworks place blew up and I said it's just a fireworks place and you're trying to tell me it was a missile? And I was like, dude, that was
Dude,
fireworks.
yeah, I know. And then I started watching more angles, and I was like, okay.
I was like, it's just fireworks, man. It's like,
One angle made it look like a fucking missile,
like
man.
not everything is a conspiracy. Like sometimes weird shit just happens and you're just gotta go,
Yeah.
Just want to see one on TV with like the president and he's like waving or something like that. Then you'd be like, okay.
well, Biden's a little wacky. I think if he like told me they were aliens, I'd be like, all right, come on. Get over here.
That's how he's gonna. That's how they're prepping his step down.
Oh yeah,
They've been prepping this for 8 months.
Aliens. They're like, all right, get him out of here.
I want to know which movie got right though. How close? Which one? Which one are you hoping for?
For aliens,
For Paul.
yes, that would be pretty good.
Yeah.
God, I can't think of any good alien movies. There was the one with I don't remember the actress. It wasn't Sandra Bullock.
Day when Will Smith punched the alien in the face. That's what
That's not-
Interstellar. I'd like the aliens from Interstellar. Did you ever see that?
I didn't see the aliens in Interstellar.
Yeah, I don't remember the aliens.
It's them.
It's subtle.
It's them. It's time travel.
Okay, yeah, that's right. That movie.
But they turned out to be the aliens that they were interacting with. It was
That
time
was one of the
travel.
other ones
That movie
where
was so weird because I remember just watching it.
It's so
At the
good.
time, and I was like, I don't even know.
It's not a light movie. It's super sciencey,
Yeah.
and I got it from following Neil Tyson, and he recommended it one day, and I watched it, and it's fucking great.
I liked it, but it kind of falls in line of those movies that like they have a twist, but they don't know that it's a twist until like everything shows up all at once.
Yeah, so that's probably where I missed it because I was in that. I'm like, eh.
Yeah, you'd have to pay attention because at the end it just all lines up. It's called Interstellar. If you want to watch it, it's like 3 hours with Matthew McConaughey, but it's fucking great.
If you watch,
Especially if you like
15 minutes
space.
at the end, you'll be fine.
Yeah, if you,
No.
It's a good movie though.
yeah, it's great. If you like space and science, it's fucking great because it gets its science right.
He had two around the same time, though, didn't he?
I think you're thinking of actually that's the same one with Matt Damon.
The Martian.
That was the
Yeah, he's also in Interstellar.
But was that the one where he saw his daughter really old later on?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I've seen like that. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think that was the one I have seen. Then I was like, okay, I
Like
remember bits and pieces.
Oh, I don't want to ruin it. Like, it's so good. He leaves, and I'll give you a
Just go watch the movie.
yeah. Just go watch the movie. It's so good. The next time we
Forget he said anything else besides just go watch.
yeah, go watch the movie. The next episode of this podcast, I'll talk about it. So you have a week.
It's fucking 3 hours long, so
Yeah, it's 3 hours long for a week. 10, you gotta catch up on it because it's great.
catch up.
And rewatch it, Paco. We'll see you next week to talk about this as well.
Well, we're also going to talk about the. We're also going to talk about some Looper. We'll throw that one in there.
Looper's a pretty good one.
What's the one with the top?
Oh, the Vegas shooting. What?
We already did that. No.
What's the one with the top?
At the top.
Yeah.
Interception. Or
Inception.
Inception.
Oh, I never watched it.
That one's actually.
I thought it was just too
That was.
Nah, I watched it. It's pretty good. Like it's one of those movies where like if you actually pay attention.
That one was actually.
I might watch
Like,
it.
oh, there's actual like reasons why this is so over the fucking
Jessica
top.
Gordon-Levitt. Dope.
Shutter Island. That's another one.
I have seen Shutter Island. That one's
Where
pretty
it's
good.
like I wasn't like even preparing for a twist out. You guys were telling me was here the whole time.
Yeah.
Now I feel stupid. I'm gonna lie next time someone asks me about this movie and I knew the whole time.
Old boy.
Oh my god. Have you watched Old Boy?
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, Old Boy's another good one you guys should check out. I showed that to Kathy the first time I got her to watch it. She started crying and made me turn it off because it's very graphic.
It starts getting in.
Yeah,
You're
it's very graphic.
That's why, like, as soon as I started like picking up, I'm like, no.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got the
This is dirty.
It's a great movie, but she loves the movie now that she's seen the whole thing. She loves it. It's great, but
Yeah.
isn't that Scarlet Witch?
Yeah. Olsen.
Yeah, Elizabeth Olsen?
Yeah.
not Mary Kate or Ashley.
Yeah, they don't do much anymore.
No.
They still make more
Good
than me.
genetics though.
What?
Good genetics.
Good genetics. Okay, I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. I thought you said good eggs. I was like, what the fuck is that?
He's a supporter of eugenics.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I slurred.
Hold on. So we've been talking about the Vegas shooting for like.
Did we already cover that or no?
No,
Okay.
we just talked about it the other day.
All right.
How it just disappeared.
Yeah, we mentioned that.
Yeah.
Did we?
I thought we did talk about that. Yeah.
Maybe we did.
About the how did they manage to get all the windows out? How to get all those guns up there without being noticed? How is it one person? Why are there so many people on the ground that said there are multiple shooters on the ground?
So he didn't shoot out the window. He busted it out with a hammer right before he shot, which didn't make sense to me. They don't believe he shot out the window. They believe he took an object and broke the glass.
I would not.
He also rigged up cameras at the end of it because he was in a suite. He got both suites and attached them. He'd been there for days before the shooting because he'd come to the hotel a lot, and he had one suite that he was in for like 7 days before the shooting, and then he got the connecting suite, and they're at the end of this long hallway, and there's other rooms in this hallway, and he put cameras at the end right off the elevator so he could see all the way down the hall who was coming, and it just seems very. And he was like 67, 68.
He was an active.
Yeah, and it just seems something you put a lot of thought into be a guy who's never done anything like this, had no training.
Yeah.
He was like a bank accountant.
Really big fan of SEAL Team 6. He liked to flirt a little bit. It's fun.
Yeah, when they said hammer like broke the window, I was like, no.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense to me. If you're getting ready, why would you?
Yeah.
Because what if his gun was mounted and he didn't want to like risk it? Like,
But it wasn't because he spun around and shot 2 people in the hallway through his door.
Yeah, he just had he's gonna scare. He might have something out though, but at the same time, he's just prepping, sitting there going, "Oh, I could," and then finally was just like, "Fuck it."
And then nobody talks about it anymore.
I would also have to imagine it was more than like one swing. I think like he like might have pre-cracked.
And isn't that some pretty?
What they said was the glass is the glass that we have in our vehicles that you break with those like
or whatever? No.
shatterproof? No, because you get those tools and you can shatter them with like one hit. That's what that glass at the hotel was made out of. So they think he had a tool like a hammer or one of those that did it. It can just do it in one shot. But I mean, you'd have to know that that's the kind of glass, and how are you gonna find that?
Yeah, like you can.
Like you can't practice that.
You just got fucking lucky. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
What was the
but again,
alternative? It was a
shoot it out.
Stronger window.
I would think you just shoot it out.
Yeah,
that's
but
why you
like,
don't know.
That throws off your aim though.
Now, like
For one shot, he
yeah.
fired for 5 minutes, 3 seconds of glass shooting. I think there was more than just that person.
now, I
man.
think those hammers that shattered that glass. Now, if a bullet like in those glass would just start making a hole into it, and like maybe it would just do that. So maybe he just wanted to have a whole opening up.
Yeah, but wouldn't you try to shoot first, and then if that didn't instantly work, then you'd smash it?
Well,
Because now I've already fired a shot. Now they're like,
He shot for 5 minutes. He wasn't worried about that.
And I already
he didn't know he was going to shoot for 5 minutes.
Yeah. And I already brought the hammer. So I already have the hammer.
It's already here.
I suppose.
Let's just go with the hammer plan. Why are we critiquing how successful this man's window
It just
removal
doesn't make sense to me.
Neither does fucking. I don't like country music that much either, but I'm not going to shoot up a fucking concert.
If you had to guess who was playing when it happened, who do you think it was?
Toby Keith.
Close. Jason Aldean. New Toby Keith.
I miss Toby Keith.
He was great. Alan Jackson.
Good stuff.
Was it 800 and I think like close to 850, but it was 800 plus like injured.
Yeah, 800
Like,
injured, and it was
so
like
many
52.
rounds.
Well, even then,
He shot for 5 minutes
I
straight.
know,
man.
that's so many.
Just be like walking on top of other people too.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, yeah, it says injured, so actually there could have been other shit too. Yeah,
I would imagine like it happened anywhere near me. Like I feel bad for anyone that's directly in my.
Well, there were people on the video
sit
saying,
there.
"Just lay there, just stay down there." I'd be like, "No, I'm fucking out."
Gone. Fuck that.
He
Yeah.
might be aiming for the moving target, but I'm one of many.
Yeah, and he's.
I'm going out with my boots.
I don't
on.
see
I'm running.
him, so I assume he's far away.
I don't know who the fuck shooting. So
Yeah, I'm out. I'm
I
not.
know my car's that way.
I'm not staying here.
If you're between me and that car,
Please keep up. Jump on my back. Let's fucking go.
Yeah. I want some friends who are like, sit down. I'm like, you stay.
Yeah, peace.
I'm gone.
Anybody, we have to stay here. Fuck you.
Yeah, we
I don't
go.
know what you see around us that will be stopping these bullets.
I don't know where they're coming from. I'm out.
Yeah, go ahead and shoot this flare gun. I'm gonna take off this way. There
Hold this sparkler for me.
you
There
go.
was another shooting this week in Atlanta.
What?
Yeah, the eight
The
Asian people
shooting.
Yeah.
What? I haven't heard anything. I haven't been on Reddit. I haven't been on Reddit today.
I watched the news.
White incel went off and shot 8. Was it a massage parlor?
Yeah.
Asian massage parlor.
But it was 3 different massage parlors. It wasn't just one.
Oh.
He went to 3 different ones.
So where was this?
This was this week.
Yeah, like it wasn't. Yeah, not just long ago.
Right, and then right after they loosened the gun regulations in Georgia.
Yeah,
It was in Georgia?
Yeah,
Dude.
same time, if they would have had a gun at the first spa, there wouldn't have been the other 2 spas. So
You're saying we should arm minorities?
absolutely, give everybody a gun.
Well,
Absolutely.
See, that's what the NRA tried to do. And then white people were like, wait, black people get guns? And then the NRA was like,
I'm just like, no, give everybody a gun. Be like, if a mugger knows that person might be strapped, they're probably not going to rob that guy.
yeah, they'll just shoot him first.
Well, there you go. That's just murder, and that's just different steps, and then you can just kill that guy, and then problem solved, I guess. Just fucking.
But then I mean,
Somebody
like,
died.
What if he tries to mug me and then I kill him? Now I have to prove it was self-defense? But what if that guy was armed? Why wouldn't he have just shot me first? There's a slippery slope, Ted. If no one has guns, but we can't get rid of all guns.
Yeah, we cannot.
Yeah,
You'll never get rid of all guns.
and even if there wasn't, like, I could have a knife, anything too. I'm just saying.
I'm saying let's get swords back in action, man. We'll melt down all the guns and issue swords at them.
I'm just saying, though, with no guns, there's 0 gun crime.
Exactly. We will drop gun crime. That's going to be our platform. You hear to hear. What's the next election? What are we? 2026. 2024.
Atlanta,
2024.
no.
We're going to run for president.
I thought
You guys will be my co-vice president.
Sorry, I was looking at
Yeah,
that.
no, we're running for president 2024.
Jesus, okay.
Yeah, we're doing it, and we're going to drop gun violence
Are you 35
to 0.
2024?
No, 20. I'll be 34.
Just by that much. Where is presidency 45?
Scotty will be 35.
Okay, so you can be a senator, right?
No, president's 35. Scotty can run as president. We'll be his advisor.
Kennedy was the youngest. I think he's like 46, wasn't he?
42, I thought.
42, okay.
Maybe 37. I don't fucking know.
I don't know, man. We shouldn't idealize people of the past.
Just get rid of your hero or all
Yeah,
that?
exactly. Fuck Reagan. Reagan ruined this country.
Okay.
I mean, he's right.
Trickle down economics, my ass. Trickle down these nuts.
Bitch.
Exactly.
Diamond hands, motherfucker. And we're back.
So yeah, I would much rather get hit on accident with a blunt object than a sword.
Why? Dude, they tell you, keep your knife sharp so
Because
if
if that guy's trying to hurt me, like, he's not going to stop and be like, oh, at least I sharpened my sword. No.
yeah, but if he has a sharp sword, if you just like cutting something with a sharp knife and you cut yourself. They always say you want a sharp knife because it's a clean cut. You can reattach it. If it's a dull knife, it's more of a tear than a cut. So a blunt object, you're just crushing.
Or he one-times me with the blunt object in the shin. I go down and go, ah, and he just walks away.
Well, when
I
you
have
just
to go to the hospital.
You
get
do have to go to
fucking
the hospital.
reattached.
You do have to go to the hospital. You just shattered your femur.
It's not how he shattered my femur. It's my shin.
You didn't say shit. Who's gonna bend down and let us smack?
I
you in
didn't
the
say
shin?
shit. It's fucking recorded.
You had to be 35 too. I'm just looking at this thing. Okay.
No,
We were
sharp
so
object.
behind.
Sharp object over blunt any day. Blunt is just gonna crush, and then you're just there with. It's like you get smacked in the forearm twice. You're just gonna flop your arm.
Yeah, ain't gonna happen again. How many times you gonna get your hand chopped off?
You could get it reattached to at least twice.
Ask Jamie Lannister how that works out. Ask Luke Skywalker how that
They
works
didn't have the modern technology. Luke Skywalker got another hand.
Luke Skywalker didn't have modern
He got
technology.
another hand, didn't he?
Yeah, and he's still pissed about it.
He's not. That was
Drummer
that's
from
Anakin.
Leopard.
There's an arm.
I thought he was, wasn't it an arm?
Wasn't he born like that?
No, he got a car wreck.
Oh yeah, they could. Yeah, it was a rip. It wasn't a clean cut.
It could have been.
No, it
Well,
wasn't
actually, I
like.
think it was, and then they had it amputated, so it was a clean
I don't
cut.
think that's what it was. I think they
Problem was,
tried to
the sword was not
reattach.
sanitized, and he got gangrene.
I don't think that it was a clean cut in a car accident.
Oh,
I
did they
don't think-
sanitize the sword before this man fights me with it?
No, but you can clean out an infection if you can reattach the fucking limb.
Now,
See, there's a lot more risk involved.
what if one's is shorter? You just kind of chop it off.
Yeah, you even it up. So just take a little off the top. Yeah, all right.
Or you can look like Cotton from King of the Hill. chill. Just
All right, so 10. You never picked a team. You're the tiebreaker here.
for moon landing.
No, we already know the moon landing one. It's real. It happened. Get over it. Sharp
blunt or
versus
sword?
blunt. Yeah, like a club or a sword.
Like, what makes more sense?
If you issued one to everybody, which one would you rather people have?
I mean, just solely on the fucking idiots, I'd probably say blunt.
See?
Sword.
Yeah.
They'll sort themselves out.
I know they'll sort themselves out, but at the same time, the guy.
Then we're gonna lose our swords. I don't want to lose my swords because Johnny Dipshit could not cut himself.
Yeah.
This is the same gun argument.
Yeah, but see, you have to be in the vicinity.
No, that's what
of
I'm
like
saying.
3 feet. That's
Now-
fine. Just fucking take 2 steps back. You're out of reach. Go home.
Am I?
How long
am
can
I
you swing
able
that sword?
to have a sword? Or,
Yeah.
Okay, then yes.
Everybody gets a sword.
But if
Everybody gets
everyone's
a
just
club.
issued, okay. If everyone's just issued a blunt object, sure. But if I'm still allowed a sword, I'm like, okay.
Oh no.
everybody a blunt object?
No.
Everybody gets a sword or everybody gets a blunt object?
everyone gets
One or
one of
the other.
those. Pick one. Which would you rather
I
have?
went with blunt object
I want a
because
sword.
I don't want like small arguments to end with amputations.
I would like some reattachment over shatter.
It's not shattered. I mean, it's just a one time.
Maybe.
How many times
Yeah.
you like lightly tap?
It's a one-time guarantee with a sword because it slices it off. With a blunt object, if they want to, they can smack it 3 times.
So imagine a dude pissed you off at the bar, right?
Uh-huh.
And now like he's standing at the bar talking to his friends about how he just made you look like a bitch.
Uh-huh.
Now you're walking by. Now you have your sword or your blunt object. Now, if you stab him with the sword, you have escalated things. If you love tap his funny bone with your blunt object, though, he's not going to swing on you. Why? You can't move his arm.
Swords have felts. You can just smack.
See, then you're blunt object.
Yeah, but you got the
I'm
sword.
just saying, one's way funnier than the other.
And also too, like that would probably give them time to stop though with a blunt object. Like sword, you're gonna die probably.
Yeah, that's
if I just stab you like in the neck or whatever, but if I crack you in the head and go down like
You don't think you could fight?
like he's had enough.
You don't think you could? You don't think
You
you
can rein
could?
it back in a little bit.
You couldn't duel without killing?
Huh?
I mean, it'd be a lot harder. Like, why would you?
No, people
like,
do
if
it all
there's
the
a guy
time.
Why
on
would
the
you
ground-
handicap yourself to not kill someone else?
I mean, if the guy's down on the ground stuff and done with it, like, all right.
Not gonna hit him again.
Yeah. Like, he's had enough. Now if he gets
Fair.
back up and says, motherfucker, yeah, I'm gonna hit you again.
I'm leaving now because I've cracked this man in the face with a baseball bat.
Well, if he
Still
gets
going.
up and comes at me, like at some point with a sword
Oh,
or
okay,
something,
yes.
yeah, then yes, I'm gonna.
I thought you were like right away. I was like, no, who is this Terminator?
Arnold.
Oh my God, it's TJ Dillashaw.
No, after he like
Sylvester
gets the
Stallone.
bearings back.
Right, Dillashaw's fighting Corey Sandhagen.
Yeah.
The title's being fought for between Oliveira and
And-
Chandler.
Chandler's getting his title shot.
Yeah, and people are talking shit like, oh, Curry was a champion in
Why didn't-
Bellator, and I was like,
Is that the 45?
yeah, because Khabib officially retired.
Oh, so that's the 55.
Yeah.
How did they do that instead of Poirier?
Poirier didn't want it.
He's trying to fight
McGregor
Conor.
fight, but they weren't going to give McGregor a title fight.
And Diaz, what about Diaz? He's not fighting him 55. He's doing 70 things.
And that's Conor's
Post.
reply to fucking Khabib's retirement.
Yeah.
Like, dude, fuck you.
He is so pissed. But he's also wishing him well, but he's trying one last jab. I bet he never brings up
I
Khabib.
made you like that dude was getting that title with or without you.
Yeah. No shit.
There was no one getting in his way that was stopping him, and he was not giving up to anyone except for himself.
Yeah, he was going. All right.
What you got over there?
Yeah, what you doing?
Nothing. I was just real quick.
I thought you were waiting to say something.
Yeah, did you have anything
You
good?
guys were talking about the fights and stuff. And,
Ten's not a big fight fan.
no, like I watched some stuff. I just,
I feel bad for Henry Cejudo.
He's coming back.
I don't think he is.
He's coming back to fight TJ.
TJ's fighting Corey Sandhagen.
But Cejudo announced his return. He's been retired. He's been out of the pool. He has 6 months.
Yeah, he's officially removed.
No, he's joining back in, is what his Twitter said.
Oh, he must have changed.
Yeah,
his mind.
Henry Cejudo, Triple
I
C.
feel bad. That dude was like, I'm going to retire as like a negotiation tactic because he was a 2-division champion, and they were like, all right, bye. He's like, what?
Because Dana's trying to get rid of the weight classes.
right.
No one likes those small guy weight classes. Like, it's because it's really hard to be like a 200-pound dude worried that a 130-pound dude's gonna whoop your ass.
But these, dude, Mighty Mouse, holy shit.
Oh yeah, they would totally do it. It's just like coming across to like the
normal, casual people who don't watch fighting.
Just leave.
Yeah, stand them up.
Like, I mean, it's fine. You can enjoy that aspect of the sport, but like those type of guys aren't going to understand. Like, just because that dude is small does not mean he will.
Yeah, you can't. You got to understand the.
But there's
science.
There's still a difference. Like there's a point where overwhelming girth overcomes your technique.
Yeah.
Just your power. That's how Ngannou was before he got really good. Like when he first started out in the UFC, he was just all power, man.
Mm-hmm. It's like when I was doing jiu-jitsu with you, that one girl in the class, she's really good. But like, as she was doing things, like I could tell.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about.
I could tell that if she wanted me to be like unconscious, she could do it. But also at the same time, like she is so much smaller than me. If I want to just throw her, I could.
Mm-hmm. Like you're trying not to use your power to get positions and like get out of submissions. Yeah, but it's like if she really wanted to fuck me up, she probably could. I could slam her into stuff if I wanted, but
I could break her in half.
Yeah,
that's like
but if she gets a neck or
McMahon or
no, I was just
she's the girl we used to train with.
Let's say the one the small chick that fights McMahon or shit, what's her name?
Gina Carano?
Oh god damn it! I can't just brain fart. Small blonde hot.
Oh, Kat Zingano.
Huh?
Kat Zingano?
No, wasn't her.
Paige Van Zandt?
Van Zandt.
She went to bare knuckle fighting.
Yeah, she's really
sorry. Is that a brain?
Dude, I watched her fight there. She's fucking killer. She's bare knuckle fighting. Artem?
So I was gonna say, do you think you could take her?
Paige?
Yeah. Like physically as a man and her size. She's been trained.
Can I have 6 months to get cardio?
Sure.
Yeah. I'll take that fight. She'll beat my ass, but I have a chance.
I was say like wear her down, like just
no, not even that. I'm just gonna have to get that lucky
just
shot.
do it
because she's gonna. Even if I had 6 months, she's got the experience to just fucking keep range and piece me up. So I'd have to get lucky with a combo or like get her on the ground and just use my strength and hope to God she doesn't get a neck or something. But I think I'd have a chance, but she'd probably fuck me up. I wouldn't bet on it.
She's getting Michael Myers walked down.
You're gonna know you're in a fight.
No, there won't be. It'll be. She'll get into any range where I can grab her and I'm just breaking her. Like she can try to do any kind of jits. There is an overwhelming amount of force between my body and hers. I will break her.
There's a bodybuilder that tried that with the girl that jits, and it's like a 110-pound girl.
No, he went about it differently. Like there's no ground game. I'm going to Michael Myers, long her down, bear hug, and crack.
You can't kill.
If we go down, if there's any point where like it goes to the ground or anything, I'm fucked.
No, you're going for $1 million if you can survive or beat her.
Oh, if I can survive? Oh yeah,
not survive. You gotta beat her. I can survive. You gotta beat her.
I mean, I am more than capable of covering my head and laying down.
Keep moving, keep breathing, stay relaxed. You're gonna take some damage. Just stay away. Keep your senses.
Oh no, I'm rolling into an egg in the corner. And we're
Ref would call that.
It's $1 million guaranteed, no matter what. I was walking there.
I am verbally.
It has to go the distance, or it has to be decided, and you have to win. So you're in there for at minimum 25 minutes.
Go in there and flick your cigarette.
Can it be 15 minutes?
No, you're doing 5 5s.
I can walk around for 5 5. She'll get tired chasing me.
I don't know, man. She's got some leg kicks.
Yeah, she'll get tired chasing me. You get tired throwing leg kicks at a bag too, dude.
Yeah, but I mean, a leg will give out before a bag.
Yeah,
that's fine. I'll be an army crawling across that floor. Still moving, ref.
I'm just saying, too. If she threw a leg and he's caught it, I just feel like I.
Yeah,
just throw her.
Yeah, 100%.
What if I like throw her out of the cage?
That's on you. You get in trouble. There's actually a guy in the UFC who did that. Guy got armbar. He picked his opponent up and threw him out of the cage.
Like he was trying to use it to like scrape him off, like you would a dog turd on a shoe. Didn't work.
Threw him out of the cage.
I'll do it.
Yeah. All right, guys. I'm good. You guys good? Got anything else you want to cover? Ten, I know you had some stuff you wanted to talk about.
Well, I'm good.
Yeah?
I don't know. I can't remember anything.
All right, cool. So
at the moment.
We'll watch Interstellar. We'll reconvene in a week. I didn't forget.
Yeah, it'll take me about that long to finish it.
3 hours, 7 days. You're good, man.
Yeah.